Morning everyone, it's 8:30 Sunday morning. I'm a wee bit ropey, I'm alright, I'll pull through. Okay, so we need to talk about that last video I made because some strange things have happened since I posted it. Confession time, I've been to those ruins before, I've been to that stone before, multiple times, but a very, very long time ago, and I photographed them. And the reason that I pretended I was never there before on the last video was because when I was walking down the path, at the start of the video I panned the camera at the mountains, you know, Glendowen and the Derry Vase, and I'm like, oh, look at the lovely mountains, and then I point the camera at the path and I'm like, where does this path go? Nobody knows, or I don't know. And I only said that because I wasn't sure if I was on the right path. It's been so long since I was there and I didn't know if it was going to take me to the place I wanted to go, so I just said that, and then I just stuck with it. Then I just, you know, I tried to make it out like, oh my god, I've never been here, but oh, look at these ruins, look at that rock, you know, to make it all, you know, as if I'd never seen it before, but I knew it was there. I was out years ago photographing those ruins, and I saw the rock, and I thought right away, Jesus, that's a weird rock, the way it is. And I even brought friends out to look at it. I photographed it, photographs off. I emailed it to some archaeology type people in Dublin in some institute, and I was like, look at this weird rock that I found. You know, maybe it has some like significance. Maybe there's some Celtic Bronze Age thing attached to it, and they were intrigued by the photographs enough to come all the way up to Donegal to meet me, and I took them out and I showed them where it was, and it was really interesting. And they were looking around the ruins of that house, and it was really interesting. They were able to tell so much about how it was built just by glancing at, just by looking at it, like, and they were able to. That was really interesting listening to them. I can't remember any of it now, of course. Well, I took them out to the rock, and they looked all around it, up and down, and they said, nah. They said it's just an erratic left there by the last ice age, you know, which is probably true, but I still think there's something. I always thought there was something strange about it. Okay, there was a lot of really interesting comments on this video as well, and I'm going to read some of them to you. This is from Ag Sheen. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but it said, great video, Paddy. According to Griffith's valuation of Donegal in 1857, that house is in the townland of Bethlacht and was occupied by Thomas Duffy. Thomas Duffy died in 1885 of bronchitis, aged 80. The 1911 census shows it was occupied by Neil and Mary Duffy and their family. I'm sure it was a hard life, but such a beautiful place. And that's a brilliant comment to get, because I was, you know, that's actual information, and I've always wondered who'd lived there, you know. And I to him thanking him for his comment, and then he says, I couldn't find the other ruin on the Griffiths 1857 valuation, so it must have been built sometime after that. You should check out Griffiths value information. It has the owners of most of the old ruins you see in and around the country. Also, the Irish Historical Map Viewer has some interesting information about the Duffy household. They reckon that house may have been built as early as the 17th century because of the style of the old fireplace. So that's sometime in the 1600s. That's a long time ago. So that is really interesting. So thanks a lot for that comment particularly. And I love history. You know, I love local history and just finding out about stuff. I mean, if you've watched my videos, you've probably caught that on by now. Well, lots and lots of comments. Some of them get a bit weird. You found a burial mound. It might have archaeological importance. Fair enough. This one says it's a turtle's head. The mound is the body. Okay. That rock in the video is possibly an erratic from the last ice age. It probably is, but there's still something weird about it. This is the comment from Ghost5663. The stone is a boundary marker or grave marker placed there by a race of giants called the Tua Dinan, or their cousins, the Fair Bollocks. Now, if you know your Irish history, the Tuatha and the Fair Bollocks were said to be the very first inhabitants of Ireland way before the Celts ever got here. And they're like, they definitely existed, but they were said to be like semi-mythological, you know. Good place for a 24 deck. That's right, Glenn, very good, well spotted. This is where it gets interesting now, it's okay. So this is from Big New TV, and he says, or she, there are 2 or 3 crosses carved on it and a perfect circle on one side. And so I said, I can't say I've noticed that. And he said, they're kind of hard to notice at first. I wish I could be there to show you to them. And then the cross or X I saw is about a quarter away up on the first side you showed. The circle I saw is on the other side opposite the cross, halfway up, closer to the left side. They're kind of hard to see unless you take pictures from every angle of the video, but to me, watching your video again, there looks to be more symbols. I'm no ruined stone expert. I wish I was. I love that kind of thing, especially when it comes to Celtic or Gaelic. My dad's side of the family is 100% Danish with roots in Denmark, going all the way back to the Vikings. Then he says, I promise I have not been eating mushrooms or smoking peyote. He said that. Oh, stupid phone. If you shine a LED flashlight holding it at an angle to the stone, you might be able to see the images better. Something I learned from reading old tombstones that are ineligible. And so I'm thinking, is this guy winding me up or is he legit? So I thought, okay, I'll test him. I said, on what road would you travel to find that rock? You could be winding me up. It's a good drive for me to go and check this out, especially with the price of petrol. Sorry, I have no idea. I live in the US. I wish I could be there. I loved Ireland and Scotland. It's been almost 30 years since I've been there. Basically, we're going to have to go back and see, is this guy telling the truth? And we're going to try and see if we can find these carvings, because that will blow my mind. When he says I'm no ruins expert, what he means, ruins were basically Viking writing. They're like symbols, you know, it's like a, but you know, you can read them, and they're called runes. That's what he was referring to. So basically we're going to have to go back and see if we can see these carvings and see if they are there, which I think will be pretty cool. If they are, if we can find them, I think that'd be brilliant. And while I'm there, I'm going to show you the other ruins as well, the old other house. There's the ruins of an other house further out. There's not very much to see, but it's the remoteness of it is unbelievable. The fact that people lived in such remote places fascinates me. So I'll give you a look at that as well. So that's it. Yeah, and guys, I'm nearly at 1,000 subscribers. I'm on 966 subscribers. I'm trying to get to 1,000. So come on, don't be stingy. Press the wee red button. Doesn't so let's go. Let's go and have a look. Let's go back and have a look. What are you whinging about? It's not fucking feeding time yet. Go calm yourself. Oh, they're no good looking at me like that. No, forget that. You're not getting your belly rubbed. It's not time. Well, you can forget about it too. Perry, just forget about it. I'm away. I'm just stopping in Doohery here to show you this beautiful wall mural, which I think is really amazing. I really like this. It's got the fox and the hare down in the corner, and look at the beautiful foxgloves and the bee and the butterfly and people and the badger hiding in there, and these lovely dandelions. I think that's beautiful. I think whoever painted that is really talented. Whoever it was, I don't know. I really like that. That'd be a nice album cover. What are you doing there? I'm looking for a strange rock. You wouldn't know whether there's a strange rock about. No? Strange rock? Anyone? Jesus, excuse me. The Guibara River. We'll be heading up that. Beautiful. This is the wee village of Donegal. That's a fine salmon river there. It used to be anyway. I don't know what it's like these days. I think they might need a wee bit of a repair job on the bridge. Maybe. I could do that. I got paid. Nice wee place. Everywhere's nice when the sun's shining. Well, that's the direction we're going there. See, look on there, look, the corkscrew. The corkscrew, boy. That's like a place I could end up there, very, very handy. Anyway, we'll keep going. Because I am committed 100% to this discovery. How you doing? What fucking year am I in? Here's a wee thing I never noticed before. I think this is new because I never noticed this before. Tubber as well, Sorsha as well. I don't know. I can't read Irish, so I'm going to stop pretending that I can. But anyway, let's have a look. Definitely a wee holy well. Ah, look, it must be a healing well, because all them wee bits of rags and all them wee bits and pieces, they're left as offerings for, like, say you had a sick child, that could be the sock, one of the socks of a sick child. So it's an offering for it's a healing well, definitely. And there's the water. Holy water. Beautiful day to be out, hey. Just under the birds. Now, listen, I know you all want to get out and see this magic rock. I know, we'll get there, Just calm yourselves down a wee bit. Look at that for bluebells. Isn't that beautiful? Both sides of the river, way up the banking. Just bluebells. That's beautiful. Along the banks of the Guibara. I'm really spoiling you today, people. You're really getting a good one. And all around us is big oak trees. Beautiful big oak trees. It's full of them around here in Donegal. Really nice, gorgeous tree. One of my favourites. So here we are, people, at the start of our epic journey, and it's an unbelievable day. I don't know how hot it is, but it's a whole pile of degrees, and it's fucking great. And straight on through the bushes. Don't even look for a track. Just plough in through the bushes like a fucking deranged bogman, and just keep going. Keep going until you get there. I don't know where I'm going. The path is actually over there, but I can't be bothered looking for the correct start of it. So I just go this way. Very hard to walk, carrying the camera on your shoulder and carrying this other fucking camera. Okay, so this is the start of the wee road now. Not much of a road, I know, but it was a road at one stage.
And we have got an absolutely gorgeous day for this. Look at that. Absolutely beautiful. And that big mountain on the right hand side is Glendone Mountain, and the ones on the left hand side are the Derry Mountains. But this is where we're going. So this wee road I'm on now, which obviously hasn't been used in years, it does improve in places. It gets easier to walk on in certain places. But when I came out here for the first time in years last week, like, I was really going, am I on the right track here? Because I remember this being a lot more road-like the last time I was on it. But then I came to wee spots where you really could see that it was once a road and not just a path through the muck. But we'll get to that. But there's another thing that made me think I was in the wrong path is because it was a lot further out than I remembered. It just seemed to take an awful long time to get there. And the further I went without encountering the wee house, I was just convinced I was in the wrong road. I was thinking no one lives out here. Look at this for a view. Look at that sky. Look at them clouds. Oh boys. Gorgeous, gorgeous. Still just following this wee faint outline of a old road. You can just make it out in the distance. You can see it there in the middle of that shot. There's kind of a green patch going through the brown. That's basically it. That's all you've got to follow. But aye, this was once a road. It's hard to believe. Years ago, you would have met people coming walking. You could have met people on this road, coming out of the houses down here, heading into Donegal, or maybe the other way up on the Church Hill, maybe. So quiet. That's the Derry Mountains there. Oh, and the smell, you can smell the sweet smell of the bog, the heather in bloom. Well, it's not really in bloom yet, but it won't be long. You're going to see it when you come over this horizon, and then there's another horizon to go. We're through that boggy bit of the road, and here the road becomes a bit more noticeable. This gave my spirits a lift last week when I was out here. When I came on this bit of the road, I thought, all right, there definitely was a road here at one stage. It's a bit more solid. It's a bit more road-like. Well, big new TV guy, or whatever your name is, the guy who sent me those comments on YouTube about there being an X, a couple of X's, and a circle carved under this rock. I hope you're right. I hope you're not taking the piss. Oh my god. Look at that view. Hang on. Fuck it, I don't even care if you are taking the piss. This is beautiful. There you go. If that's not fucking Irish, I don't know what is. That's Glendone Mountain on the right, and the Derry Vase on the left, and Glen Vase down in there somewhere. And that's what we're after walking through there. The road's tucked away down in there somewhere. Very, very far away. Pretty cool. Pretty cool, I think. Right, we're getting close now. Ah, look, I can see the stone, and I can see the ruins of the old house that I'm going to visit. But we're getting close now because I remember all these wind bushes. But I'll set the camera up now. I'll set the big camera up now, and we'll get a shot. I'll show you that overall house from here. So here we are. That's the house in there, the first house just down in them trees. Where did I get set up here? Right, you can see the rock from here, really, really prominent. The way the shadows on one side of it. I'm going to zoom in. Where do you see this? And the wee ruins of the wee house that I didn't show you the last time, but I'll show you this time, is just up to the left. Let me just squirm across. Where's, there it is there, look. Just that wee dark shadow. Focus. Right. That's it there in the middle of that shot. I mean, that's remote. That is fucking, that's well out. Anyhow. And if we just pan around here, there's a beautiful shot of those mountains again. Absolutely gorgeous. And according to one of the comments under the video, this was the residence of the Duffys. Look at the lovely white thorn in that thorn tree there. That old ash tree's dying. Still a wee bit of life in it, but it's got the old ash dieback. But this was the Duffys, and that's a wee mountain ash there. According to one of the comments under one of the videos, this house was built as far back as the 1600s. Now, it might not be the original house, because what they sometimes did, when an old house fell into disrepair, they would maybe knock it and build a new house on the exact same spot. But anyway, either way, it's been here a long time. But we're not here to look at your house, we're here to look at a rock. And that rock is out there. You know, people go on about sustainable living and all this kind of stuff. And people talk about, you know, bushcraft and survival skills and all this kind of, you know, it's popular on the internet and videos and stuff. But the people that lived out here in places like this, they had to know every trick in the book to live out here. They had to know every wee thing about the surrounding landscape, the changing weather, the signs of the season, you know, because it was a nice age. Like, you know, a crop failure could mean starvation. Like, you know, there was no going to the government saying, you know, give us a lock of pound here, I lost my job. They had to know every fucking trick in the book to be able to live out here. Sure did. And I'm sure they would have helped themselves to a salmon or two from the Guibara down there. Because, no, why wouldn't they? But don't be thinking that they could have had salmon every day if they wanted, because that river, anything of value was owned by landlords, and including the rivers and including the salmon. So, and them rivers would have been watched by bailiffs. So yeah, they would have helped themselves to salmon, but they would have had to be careful about it. You know, they were essentially stealing, poaching, you know, but you know, it's terrible, the greed that was going, like, that a rich landlord with thousands of acres and all these tenants paying him rent would stop them from taking a fucking old salmon out of the river. And back then, them rivers were choked with salmon. Or you could have walked across the fucking river in salmon. Not like now, like, but anyway, what the fuck am I on about? I come out here to look at a rock. Shitting on about fucking salmon. Jesus Christ. Close now. I'm not expecting to be able to, if there is something here, it's going to be kind of over covered, you know, and overgrown with lichen. So it's not going to be like really visible, or I would have spotted it already, presumably. The guy did say you have to look for it, but well, I'm going to find out one way or the other. It's really strange the way this sheep's path makes a direct beeline to that rock. It's as if they're drawn to it. I'm sorry, I know I keep panning the camera around like this. I know, I just can't help it. It's just such a good day, and you just very rarely get light so good to film in. I can't stop it. Anyway. Now we shall see. Now we shall see. Was your man telling porky pies? Or was he telling the truth? Have I been made a fool of? Or have I not been made a fool of? Let me tell you, whoever left those comments, I am more than capable of making a fool out of myself without anybody's help. I excel at it. It's a gift. One more wee look. Oh my god, that is so beautiful, that is so amazing. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Alright, that's it. That's definitely the last time. One more. Alright. Right. He said the crosses were on the first side that I approached it. And I approached it from this side here. Now he said, I think he said X's. When I say crosses, I don't mean like a Christian cross. I think he meant just an X. So let's have a wee look. Close look. And he said there's a circle on the other side. Not just any old circle. A perfect circle. Not the band. The geometric shape. Right, so where are these crosses? I'm not seeing it. I am not seeing a cross or an X of any kind. Do you know, if I don't find them, this video is going to be fucking ridiculous. I always get a really nice vibe here. I don't know what the fuck it is. It's just a nice place. Anyway, sorry, I came out here to look at this rock. Right, there's a big line there, but that's a fault in the rock. That's not carved by humans. I'm going to put the camera down and have a wee look just. Well, I've been up and down, inside and out of that rock, and there's nothing carved in that fucking rock. There's a very faint sort of an X there, but I mean, you could see that anywhere. That's, I mean, it hasn't been carved by a person. Oh, I think the guy who sent me that message may have been talking out of his anus. I think so. There's a guibara. And there's that wee house. We'll go and have a wee look at that. I don't remember that bone being there the last time. Ugh. Oh well. Such is life. Oh, aye, there's a big X carved into the rock. Oh, there's a perfect circle on the other side. Oh, of course there fucking is. Oh, there's a big X carved into the fucking rock. I bet the things you've been doing, running around out here looking for fucking rocks with fucking X's carved into them. Fuck! Just when I was coming back up from having that wee tantrum, I spotted a kind of circle formation in this rock. But only from a very certain angle. This is really stretching things like, but from a certain angle back there, that looks like a perfect circle. From back here, it really does. See there, look. I'll use this bone to illustrate. See there. I don't know. I do not know. Maybe I'm clutching at straws here. Maybe I'm seeing what I want to see. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Oh yeah? The more I look at that, I still don't think that's carved, because that line there goes continuously. I mean, you've got to step back to see it. But that looks natural to me. That doesn't look. Oh, that looks like a X there. I don't know. And that looks like an X, but I mean that's natural. That's not carved. I don't know. Hey, listen, I'm not a fucking geologist. I don't know what the fuck I am. Confused. I don't know. Okay, Rock, we're gonna leave you in peace. Sorry about all that. You're famous now, so just deal with it. But don't let the fame go to your head. Just, you know, be cool. Just be yourself. Just keep doing what you're doing. And yeah, stay watch the drink and the drugs. Alright, see you later. I don't care if we didn't find X's and O's on the rock. Look at the fun we're having. But look at the fun we're having. Look at the beautiful shots we got. You know, I'm not going to post the video just because I didn't find what I wanted. Fucking aeroplane. Trying to make a fucking video down here. Fuck's sake. Well, you know, I'm not gonna not post the video because I didn't find what I wanted. Or maybe I did find it, maybe that's what he was on about. Maybe those are the things he was referencing. I don't know. But got too much good footage of the mountains and a beautiful day not to post this video. So I don't care if I've been made a fool of. I can live with it. We'll go and have a look at this wee ruined house over here now. Shit, the river's after cutting me off. I have to go the long way around. Bollocks. Oh, that's a nice pool there, hey? Fucking deep too. The fucking salmon lying up in there, boy. That river there, hey. 1 minute it's a stream. You could spit across it. You go round a corner and you have a pool fucking 20 feet wide. Look up there, look at the gravel up there. You could walk across it up there. Oh, look at this. No. Right. Stop talking shite and go over to the ruined house. Okay? Okay. I'll do my best. I may as well go down. Look at all the wee trout, look at them. Oh, a wee tiny fry. You can just like wee just like wee needles starting about. I just walk across here. Why not? That looks like it was done on purpose. Why? I have no idea. But I need to get back over to the side. Oh, some of them rocks are a bit slippery. Fuck's sake. And of course, the last one's covered in slime. Brilliant. I think I recall there was a wee tiny bridge in this river. Well, I'm not sure. I might be confusing it with somewhere else. Oh, I think there was. Hey. Anyway. Or the remains of a bridge is what I meant to say. Fucking clegs are biting the arms of me. Get away, you fucking curse of God clegs. Hey. Get off me! Oh, look at the lovely dragonfly. The devil's needle. That's what they used to call them. The devil's needle. Get the fuck! Guys, remember a wee while back I said I think there was the remains of an old bridge on this river, and you probably said to yourself, caught yourself on, Paddy. Who the fuck would build a bridge way out here? Well, you're wrong, because I can see it. I can see the remains of it, the old bridge. You'll see it now in a wee minute. All the iron's gone. I'm nearly sure, well, I can't be sure if there was iron on it the last time I was here, but you can see the pillars plainly. And what they did was, they just built on the right hand side. They built that pillar on top of a big boulder, and you can see the wee wall on the left hand side. That would have been holding up the supports. Ah, look, you can see a piece of iron lying in the water. I have some fucking memory for pointless information. Hey. See, if you asked me where I was working last week, I couldn't fucking tell you. Oh no, I know there's the remains of an old bridge in some fucking river a million miles from nowhere. Oh, not a problem. All day long, boy. Look at that. And that was obviously to accommodate that wee house. Now the question is, could they not have built the house on this fucking side of the river and it would have saved them building a fucking bridge? What do I know? See the old iron? My God. Now there's a rock there with fucking X's in it. It's covered in fucking X's. That's the wrong rock. I have to cross this fucking river now, hey. It just occurred to me. Why they couldn't have fixed that old bridge up for the new house coming? Well, I think it's fucking get feet wet time. Fuck it, I could have crossed that river 20 places a while ago. Now when I want to cross it, there's nowhere to cross. Could I do that? Could I do that? No, I'm not carrying all this shit. Oh, maybe down there. Maybe down there. See, I have a big camera over my shoulder here, and then I'm holding this fucking other thing. I've no free hands at all. Like I have exceptional balance. Right. We'll fucking see now if I have exceptional fucking balance or not. Look at that there. Dear God. Anyway, right. This is going to be a leap here, but so far so good. So far so good. Nearly there. Hey boy, straight over, straight over. Not a bother. Fucking tell you, boy. Look at that. I'm like a fucking young goat. That's lovely. Hey. That is lovely. So this would have been the road then. Across the bridge there, across the river. And this was the road up to the house then. You can see it dug out of this wee kind of hollow. Obviously, it's not completely overgrown, but this was the road up to it. Now, if you thought that last house was remote, that last house is positively urban compared to this one. This is one of the most remote houses I've ever found. I found more. If you check my videos, if you go on my page and click on the videos, you'll see a list of all the videos. The one about Glen Lough, there's a very famous house in there. It was a Dan Ward, very, very famous house. That's more remote than this. But I think this is in a bleaker place, a more harsher environment. Although it's a close call. I mean, you're living out here, you're essentially living in a desert, a wet desert. Like, there's no other way to describe it. I mean, if you want to grow crops in that land, I mean, it's endless backbreaking toil to make that land there produce food. Because that land does not want to produce food. That is the last thing that land wants to do. But people did it. And you can see now as we're approaching the house, the land around the house is slightly more green than the bog around it. That's because it's been farmed and used for decades. But eventually it'll all go back to rushes and bog. And if you can see that little patch of land just to the left of that wee tree, you can make out faint ridges on it. And that there is the remains of old potato beds. So, hey, look at that. That's hard to believe. Hey. It's hard to believe people could survive out here. My God, they were tough people. They were tough fucking people. Hey. I think we're only children compared to them. With all our technology and all our modern comforts and all our fucking so-called information, I think we're only children compared to the people who lived here. I don't think we know fucking anything. I definitely don't. Look at that. They had to know how to do everything. Yeah, you know, they had to know how to make a house, literally. Build a fucking house, thatch it. They had to know how to make clothes. They had to know about crops and seasons. They had to know everything. Hey. They had to be self-sufficient. Look at this big stone out here. I wonder, was that the remains of a porch? I bet it was, the way it's coming out there. I bet you that was a wee porch there. And again, I've pointed these out before, but these are pegs here. There's one there as well. And they were used to put ropes on to lash the thatch down, because you can imagine the wind coming through here in the winter. You can imagine there's no shelter, like, I mean, that first house is way up in the distance there. But come here. I just have terrible respect and admiration for my ancestors, because they had a hard fucking time. A hard fucking time. We've got a piece of iron there for a lintel for the fireplace. I wonder, was that the same iron used on the bridge? Hang up there. Hang up there of interest. How did they do it? How the fuck did they do it? I don't know why. I do not know. Now, was that a shed or was that another house? That is the question. The first thing you'd look for is a chimney, a fireplace, you know. If it had a chimney, it's more than likely a house. That might have been one there, caved in. I don't know. I do not know. That was a wee shed there, obviously. Another thing you have to think about, like, gathering the rocks to make this house. I mean, there's rocks about, there is surely, but, you know, I'm after walking through miles and miles of bog, and I didn't see any fucking boulders you could pick up with your two hands. They might have been brought on here in horse and cart, I don't know. These corner ones were obviously worked. And I've just discovered an old iron pot. Look at this. Look at that place, huh? Look at that. There's one wee leg on it and a wee handle there. Can you imagine the hungry mouths that there must have fed there over the years? People hanging over the fire in the crane, and the hungry children watching the spuds boil. If that pot could fucking speak. And there's another wee boy there. Smaller wee pot. Well, your cooking days are over now, boy. You've done your work. put it back. I like putting things back where I found them. I don't know why. Now, you might be asking yourself, what would compel somebody to want to live out here in such a barren and desolate place where it's so hard to make a living from the land? And what often was the case way back then, well, the people that were living in places like this were more than likely driven from their land during the plantation of Ulster. The people that originally built this house may well have been, you know, evicted or lost their lands during the plantation of Ulster, and they basically had no choice but to gather up all their possessions. Maybe if they were lucky, if they had a donkey and cart to put them in, and they basically just headed west to Donegal, and they would have just kept going until they found a place that was so barren, so fucking desolate that nobody cared if they lived there. And you know, they would have just had to just pick a spot, always near water obviously, and try and rebuild their lives. Now obviously they would have lived in tents for those first few years, because you're not going to build a house overnight. And what they ate, how they survived, I do not know, because it would take several years before you could make a living from this land. You got to break up the sod, break up the turf, and then manure it, and you know, you're not going to get crops here in 1 or 2 years. Like it's going to take a while. So how they survived those first, when they arrived here, how they would have survived those first few years is a mystery to me. I don't know how they did it, but they did. Now, I'm not saying that was the case with this specific house. I don't know the history of this house, but that happened. You know, that did happen. People driven from their land, and they just had to live where nobody cared. In a place like this, it was just so barren that nobody wanted the land, and nobody cared. Now, of course, the land belonged to somebody, the landlord, but the landlord didn't care, because as soon as they were on his land, he just started charging them rent. That was just money for him. So it was a win-win for the landlord as well as that, because it improved a piece of barren, useless land. Now there was a house on it. Now it was being farmed. So it improved the landlord's land as well. So, you know, if he wanted, he could just toss them people out and do what he wanted with it. Like, so that's how people, in some cases, that's how people ended up living in these really barren, remote places where you think, why would someone choose to live there? They had no choice, basically. So that's just a wee bit of history there for you. You know, you get everything in my videos. Rocks, history, old bridges. But anyway, folks, that's enough for me. Hope you enjoyed that, and if you did enjoy it, be sure and subscribe to my channel and give the old video a thumbs up and all that. And I do appreciate the comments and all the rest of it. And so, thanks for watching. Until the next time, look after yourselves, and I'll see you soon. Good luck.